Yep. And welcome back to the Northern Route, everybody. Today, this day, just this day, every year for the last 32 of them, they have had a really unique and traditional way of meeting in Stjørdalen. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. And that's one of the things I really think they really know how to do in Stjørdalen. And of course. And as lucky as one can be, I got even my own bottle of Stjørdalsøl from the man himself, Jørund. Or I don't know that it's a bottle, but let's really hope so. Or it's a really small amount of malts. So yeah, I will be tasting the beer, hopefully, his traditional farmhouse beer, or his malts, hoping for the beer. So yeah, as I said, I think this is a really unique way of doing it, because the tradition goes on the second day of Christmas, andre dag jul, here in Norway. They meet up, bring their beer, and the most important part, I guess, is to bring a cup so we can taste everybody else's beer. I know that Jørund got home now an hour or two ago from one of these meetings, and in his area, in his local part of Stjørdalen, there were at least 20, I think, today, 30, and I know sometimes it's even more. People meeting, and they're often traditional farmhouse brewers that uses the Stjørdalen malts, the smoked malts, and they use the tradition to bring along with them, meeting up with all these other guys, or people at least. And that's the really unique part, because Jørund, of course, as Jørund goes, he's putting all this info into works and putting the data down, so he knows how many there was this year and that year and every year. And I think and he also said himself earlier to me that he thinks also this is one of the reasons why Stjørdalsøl has become better tasting with time, but also have now a different been looked at different in their local community. Whew, yeah, Young Goat had one of those. Hopefully, we're talking about the beer. Traditional way of opening. Let's see. This can be really, really good. Because in here, there of course a milk carton. And yeah, let's see. Yep. Here it is. And I used this tradition for my own inspiration. So today, in my community and in my community that I'm building through my Norwegian YouTube channel, Fulldebatten, I also made them send out beer to each other the same way they do it in Stjørdalen, just digitally. So my people in my community sent beer to each other. So later tonight, we're going to have a beer tasting. And not the same way as they do in Stjørdalen, but with inspiration from what I do in Stjørdalen. Because how it goes, usually Jørund goes around sharing his beers. and with other traditional farmhouse brewers and get feedback, because it's no contest, it's no who did it best and who really sucked at it. It's only people giving honest comeback feedback to the work that he does, and to the product he are bringing. So I'm really looking forward to this. I only tasted Jørund's ales one time before, or two actually. And the funny part is that the first time I tasted the malts was through my own beers, what I made myself with his recipes, of course. Ooh, do you hear that little fizz? Of course, there's only a little fizz, if any at all. Yeah, traditional raw ale. Reading from the back here and translating in my proper traditional raw ale, brewed on his own malts. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, smoked malts from his own såenlag. The såenlag that he are in. Søndergården, såenhus, såenhuslag. His own hops, and they're fresh, so it's wet, I guess, wet hops. And he uses the traditional, now the newly traditional, I think is the most right way to say it, way of fermenting it is with baker's yeast that you buy in the shop. Eden Blå, it's called. And yeah, it contains a lot of energy and some good calories. And of course, as Jørund always does it, his ABV is strong enough. There you go. Stjørdalsøl. And I really get this great aroma. Even not sticking my nose down it yet. And a little caramel. And some, yeah, the older wood is coming through. It's different than other smoked beers, or smoked malts at least. And a little, not acid, but yeah, syrlighet, it's called in Norwegian. And perhaps some spices, perhaps. Mild, but yeah. Yeah, looking forward to this one. Cheers. Oof. It's really good. What I really love about it is that it's not overwhelming smokiness. It has a lot of caramel, some bread notes, but also the really clear smokiness, and really good from the older wood, I guess. Yeah, and it's a good mouthfeel. I know that Jørund always makes raw ale and has a technique of putting his hops in the day before with his malts at a low temperature and heating the wort and the mash up the day after, and really using his time. It's really excellent. Of course it is, but yeah. I'm going to make more videos on that later, on the Stjørdalsøl and his malts, both his malts, Jørund's malts, and Roar's malts. I got them both. I already done it some time ago, but I'm going to do it yet another time. And yeah, so Martin says it's really something to go and experience. And yeah, I really bet it is. To go up there and meeting people thinking different from what I do, coming from a more modern way of thinking of beer. And really meeting people that has unique beer, really something different. And as I go further down the northern route and down this road, I see that the way of thinking that traditional brewers have are really one of the most unique parts about this whole experience, because their way of thinking are really the soil that it all is built on, and it has to be good. Yeah, and Björn also needs to go there. That's funny, because Björn is a lot closer than me. So, back to the tradition. I know that many of them have local tasting rounds this day. As Jørund told me before, they had larger ones that really got a lot of people coming, but now there is smaller groups meeting, so more on their turf, so everybody can walk there, and so on. And I know it can be at least 100 of them today meeting, traditional farmhouse brewers meeting up second day of Christmas, sharing beer, experience, laughter, and just really going there. And one of the things I really like about it is that Jørund told me that people are coming there with their children and their wives, and everybody can come, and everybody can go there and taste and really see something that's unique for Stjørdalen, and really taste something that's really unique to the world. Stjørdalsøl. And yeah, it is. It's really good. Get your own smoked malts. Try it. At least try the techniques. As I said, in January, I'm gonna do at least one of these traditional recipes from Jørund with his malts. So that will be good. I will have some tastings after, I guess. And yeah, use the inspiration for your own. Meet up with the people in your community and discuss beer. Have tastings, have real tastings, not just, oh, this is free beer, so this has to be good. Tastings. And you really have to up your game then. So you have to just think, okay, I have to do this. I have to try. I have to get some real feedback on my beer. So perhaps my beer will get better, or I will get more secure in why I make the beer as I do. Because the goal is not to make beer that everybody else thinks are good, but the beer you think are good, if that makes any sense. So, as I said, I am now meeting up with all my patrons of my community over at Tullevatn, and I'm gonna enjoy this for a little more while. And yeah, as I said, a tradition going on for 32 years that really are some of the most unique we have here in the world, I guess, because of the farmhouse brewing aspect. These are brewers that really come together out of a tradition that are really unique. We need to have more of that. We need to have that in Voss. We need to have that in Hornindal. And we need to have that also in Telemark and the other people here in Norway, that traditional farmhouse brewers can get out there, talk about their beer, and make a little noise about it. So somebody in that region will say, oh, of course I'm going to bring this tradition on to my children, and so on. I think they really did a good job doing that in Stjørdalen. And the beer also tastes really great. And there is no alcohol punch in here. It's a whole beer, but not punching you in the face with alcohol. That's really good. And we're really balanced. It's a little, it's not that bitter. I don't think there's many IBUs up in here, but that's not that weird, because I know Jørgen uses small amount, and it's traditional hops from the area that he lives that are low in alpha acids for modern brewers thinking about this kind of stuff. Modern home brewers that are into that kind of stuff. And of course, he never boils, so the IBU is of course very low. But there is still something here. But it's a balance, and that's the part I'm thinking about. There is a balance between sødme, the mouthfeel, and the sweetiness of the beer and the bitterness. That's really cool. So yeah, thank you all for following down this road. I will be talking more about Stjørdalsøl in the future to come. I have some videos from my trip there, because I went up there some weeks ago, months ago now soon. And I'm going to just push it out now in January. I also have more from my trip to Hornindal. I have an interview with Young Goat, Ivar himself. I have with Stig Selliset. I have interview with, really some wonderful people from the community, the traditional brewer community here in Norway. Not only from the beer festival, Norsk Kornøl Festival, but also from my trips to Stjørdalen. So yeah, thank you for now, people. Have a safe one, and for those of you still Christmassy, god jul, and Happy New Year's, I guess. Most important part. Stjørdalsøl.